Starting. Okay. Hey guys, how is everybody? Welcome to our live chat about the musings of your mind. My name is Brandaline Johnson, and I'm so excited to introduce you to a great friend of mine and my meditation teacher, Rodasi Campbell. Welcome, Rodasi.
Hey, Brandaline, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you on here and to to share with people the things that you've taught me about meditation. I love meditation, but it wasn't until I met you and took your course did I even understand what was actually happening to me, to my body, to my mind through meditation. So can you explain to our audience what exactly is meditation?
Yes, I can explain what meditation is. First of all, I just want to tell a little story about when I came to meditation. I was about 18 years old, so that was about 20 years ago. And I read this book, it was a yoga book, and there was a little Indian guy wearing white robes, and he was so cute and had nothing to do with me in my real world. And in the picture, he was sitting there all lovely and peaceful. And it was talking about watching your thoughts like they're clouds. And I've heard other people talk about it that way as well over the last 20 years. And for me, that never worked. That never worked. It wasn't the way I experienced it. It wasn't the way that I was able to connect to something bigger than myself apart from that movement of the mind. So I was relieved when I found out that I didn't have to relate to my thoughts like they were, clouds. And also was relieved to find out that I didn't actually have to do much of anything with my thoughts, which is what that phrase was trying to say to me. But without an effective tool to take my awareness within, it was not going to happen. I had been diagnosed with PTSD when I was 21 and an anxiety disorder. And the way that a nervous system is wired can feel very personal. When you have anxiety going on, it feels really personal, and like there's it's about, it feels about you. And for me to be able to sit down and meditate, and today to allow for the intensity of things like anxiety or bliss or passion or creativity or anger, those big intense emotions, without judgment, without labeling, and without identifying with them, just allowing them to pass through like clouds. um, puts me beyond the movement. I am now seated beyond the movement of the mind. I'm beyond not only the movement of the mind, but I'm beyond the electrical charges moving through this nervous system, and I'm not identifying them as mine.
Uh-oh.
Hi, what happened?
I don't know. It was going great. You're back, okay?
so,
Um,
so meditation is it's a tool. It's an effective tool, hopefully, to not just help a person feel more relaxed in their body and peaceful in their mind, but to help establish an actual state of consciousness where we can feel relaxed in the body and have a clearer mind and be more and more identified with to use that cloud analogy again, the sky rather than the clouds. But for me, it's more about a felt sense of aliveness where I'm in observation of those electrical currents going through my nervous system and the way that my mind likes to interpret them. And to be able to be free to experience all of that, but to prioritize, to choose. I didn't know I had a choice not to, first of all, pay so much attention to the anxiety. I didn't know that I could then not only not pay so much attention to it, but not label it as my anxiety. And that I could be in a living experience where anxiety could show itself, but I was seated in the throne in the center of my own self. And so, real, true meditation practice helps you to find that centering and to be able to stick around there, not just with your eyes closed, but with your eyes open as well.
So you're saying that your meditation practice has taught you or given you the ability to experience anxiety but sit separate from it?
Yeah, totally. It to anxiety. It has changed my relationship to thoughts, really, to thinking. I used to think that I wanted to know peace, like feel comfortable in my own skin, because when you're anxious all the time, being comfortable in your own skin is not something you're familiar with, you know. You have to do other things like drink alcohol and smoke pot and you know, I don't know, like, and no offense to anybody who does those things. I'm just saying you have to find something. You have to find an effective tool to help you to take the edge off from feeling in that staccato space all the time. So for me, what happened is, first of all, I don't have very many intense anxiety, like what I would call attacks anymore. I have what I would call anxiety that comes through my nervous system, and I feel it um, as actual just intensity, like power, like electricity through my nervous system. And I don't just tell myself that. Like, meditation has helped me to be able to go, oh, here comes that sensation through my nervous system. And I've had enough time to not label it and judge it as anxiety or my anxiety or a problem, even, you know. So, so this is another thing that a real meditation, that a real true meditation practice of sitting and developing a relationship to stillness and silence that's already here for us can do for you. And that is to be able to allow for whatever wants to come and go through your nervous system to come and go, and you get to know yourself and the way your mind and body operates as a machine, as a really powerful conveyor of information from the senses, and then how it interprets that. And it becomes this really fascinating scientific experiment that also puts you in touch with the awe of the spiritual and divine nature that we carry as well.
I love the way you explain that, because I have found that to be true too, to be able to, like you said, treat your mind as a science experience or experiment and sit back separate from yourself and watch what the thoughts are doing running around in there without judgment of what they are.
I know, Brandeline, you've been so awesome to watch. You are such an eager, enthusiastic student and cheerleader.
I know you're coming back. Come back, Rodasi. There
Hi,
she
guys.
is.
I'm trying to praise you. What's the universe doing here? um,
um,
Yeah. So anyway, you brought so many people to meditation, and you're such a strong advocate for it. It's clear that, you've had the direct experience of real results with it too.
I highly recommend it. So how can somebody learn how to meditate?
Well, there are tons of options on the internet, and you can go to a local yoga studio or Buddhist temple. Those are some options. I have a really phenomenal group of people that I get to be peers with and students of in the organization that I'm a part of, and that's the Bright Path organization. And my lineage is called Ashaya. So the Ashaya lineage is basically about being able to align with that level of consciousness where we are in observation and we are in that living experience of freedom inside, unconditionally based. So it's not circumstantial, and that we dedicate our lives to the teaching that we practice and then get to share with other people. So I teach also at yoga studios, and I teach, basic silent seated meditation. And those are ways that people can come to it and find it. And then for me, the most effective tool to anchor my awareness, to draw it inward and anchor it, and which has given me like the most consistent results has been the ascension techniques as taught by the Bright Path Ashayas. So there are a number of ways that anybody can connect, whether it's online or live in an introductory class or in some kind of a retreat setting. Um, I I like to ask people though, when they're coming at meditation for the first time, to get really clear about why they're coming. I think it's important for all of us to know our why. Why am I doing this? Why am I attracted to this? What is it that I'm seeking? What's the result that I hope to get? And I think when people are really, really honest about that, then they can decide, is this a whim? Is this something I'm curious about? And then you can take baby steps to enter the work, the exploration. Am I passionately ready to change my life and willing to do whatever it takes? So there's two extremes. Um, am I already practicing but wanting to deepen my experience and gain access to more sustainable, clear experiences with my eyes closed? And wow, I didn't even know that I could like take that experience and be living in it with my eyes open. So that'd be the middle kind of place where someone would want to open up to trusting something a little bit different, something more. Many people I find who are practicing meditation are always intrigued when I talk about the fact that the Ashaya's ascension techniques have an open-eyed component. And you yourself know that whether you're a beginner or somebody who's already been practicing, because I think you were in class with a nice combination of people, um, the ability that one has, whether you're just starting out fresh and new, or you've been a yogi for years and practicing and trying to figure this thing out, gives you the capacity to either way drop into that still silent space and get to grow a really intimate relationship with it and begin to notice it with your eyes open, as well as when you're sitting there emptying all the stress from your nervous system.
I like that. So for the people that find you, are they like you were saying, a yogi versus a complete beginner, or do you find that a certain type of person or a certain level of person seeking you? What type of client seems to be coming to you
Hmm.
out of curiosity?
That's a great question. I have had such a pleasure working with a really diverse group of people, but I find that I attract either spiritual yogis, men and women, who are already on the path seeking. I also tend to attract people who are going through some of the same things that I went through, healing PTSD, anxiety disorders, addictions. And I just feel like the universe is so vastly intelligent that these people may or may not have any idea that I went through those things and found the practice to heal at a deep level cellularly for me, those things. So I find also today I've worked in businesses and with corporations and people just who are sitting there at their desk, wanting to affect change in the workplace, in themselves and around them. So I've been asked and have been teaching for a couple of years now in the corporate setting as well. And I have to tell you that typically people who are clueless about meditation and spirituality are the easiest students.
That's interesting, right? Maybe because they don't have an expectation or they don't even know why the heck they're doing it.
Totally. I think absolutely my teacher will often joke, but he's serious because I know I've seen it, that we have, like, I'm saying me, right? I was this sort of gypsy hippie seeker chick, spiritually inclined, didn't care about much else, and I kind of knew too much. I knew everything, at an early age. Just consumed spirituality, and life really had to humble me a great deal so that I would be willing to be innocent and be like, I don't know. And all of the concepts that I've gathered spiritually, concepts in my head over the years, have not actually affected lasting change within my living experience. So I think that though that's a challenge, and I love that challenge because I'm familiar with it, to help yogis and spiritual seekers come to. Yeah, that's a concept. What's your experience right now? They hate it. It sucks to be called out in that way, like, oh, but ultimately it's a powerful thing that I know how to see that, sniff it out, and call it out, because then people can really transcend, um and there is nothing like watching, whether it's one of those kinds of people or the person who's totally clueless or the one who's in serious pain, seriously afraid, lots of crazy chemical soup stuff going on, dealing with PTSD and addiction and trauma and uh, anxiety disorders. Those folks, when they start to see that they can sit with themselves and all that stuff going on, and that they're finding space and peace of mind really quickly, and that they're able to take these tools in the middle of their daily life and find a different experience, even if they allow for, like, that stuff is still there. To watch those people light up is one of the, like, I can't even describe to you what a blessing, a humble blessing and gift it is to know that I've been used as a conduit to serve those folks. So
That's awesome. I love that. I love that a lot. Yeah, it's awesome to be able to see that you were the medium, so to say, and introducing somebody to a whole new life and a whole new outlook on life.
Yeah, and I know that you know.
Do you like how I just keep smiling real big when you disappear, like to entertain people?
It's so weird. It must be my reception. I don't know.
So tell me, I'm so excited to hear about the class I took. I loved taking with you. It was like a 6-week thing and it was local, but now you're doing something online. Tell me about this. Tell me about this class that's coming up.
Yeah, Brandoline. So the online class, which starts February 5th, it's a couple Fridays from now, is a 6-week online program that's designed to help anybody establish a really basic meditation practice and debunk all kinds of the reasons why you can't do it, why it won't work for you, and to see how simple it is. Yeah, it requires a level of grit and determination. Like you do need to know your why, and you sign up for this 6-week thing. And there's support. We have a weekly conference call, and there are emails and audios that are sent out to support. But ultimately, it's on you. It's on the student. It's on the person who says, "This is what I want. I want to change my relationship to stress, to thoughts, and emotions, to my life." And so, yeah, each week there's a live conference call, newsletter, and audio support, which would be sort of just a prompt, an audio meditation prompt to get somebody started in their 20-minute or 30-minute meditation practice each day.
That's awesome. So how do people contact you to find out more about this class?
A couple of different ways. The website where you can read all about what happens each week is rodasicampbell.com. And you'd go under programs. And under programs, there's the Rock Your Mind meditation course. And there's 2 of them. So check the online option, the 6-week online option. I'm not offering the live one currently, but you can go in there and read about each week, and then you send me an email. From the email is written right in there, but it's rodasisheaven@gmail.com. So RODASISHEAVEN and people can sign up that way, let me know their intention, and we can go through the payment and the commitment, and then I send a little free gift to get started. Unless it's the day of the course, then they'll probably just get pushed right into the course and get the first audio from that.
Awesome. So, and then they can also contact you for like one-on-one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I do a lot of in-person one-on-one, but I have worked with people both across our nation and a couple of folks in my international organization, the Bright Path organization. I've also been privileged to serve a couple of people in other countries. That's always a great thrill. So, with our media today, it's easy to set up a little call and just be able to work through things and do sessions that way as well. So, again, the email is a good way to contact me, or Facebook, Rodasi Campbell. On Facebook, Rodasi, RODASI, Campbell, CAMPBELL. And just contact me either one of those ways. Let me know. The private sessions are also posted at rodasicampbell.com. So you
Okay,
can
cool.
read about those as well.
Awesome. So, not only do you teach meditation, and not only are you so amazing at describing what happens to our nervous system and all that. But you do some other stuff. You are into like women's spirituality, and you're this modern day monk and priestess. Like, what's that about?
What is that about? Do you know, it's funny, and I know you know this is true. um, so I know that this is your experience as well. But when you're a little kid, you kind of like play at things, and you're drawn to things, and you know that that's what you're supposed to be doing. But the world, it just seems impossible. You don't see anybody else doing it. And today the world is very different than when you and I were kids. But I didn't see anybody priestessing or monking around my house, you know. The closest thing I saw to that was a nun or a priest or you know, crazy hippies that I was very drawn to, by the way. Um, as an Ashaya, I've taken vows that are very serious and very beautiful, and they just line me up with a purpose in this life to destroy anything standing between me and being fully awake, being in love, being in joy, being in peace. And then the second part of that is then supporting other people in that. So that is the monk piece, right? The Ashaya monk. And it's very modern. It's very inclusive. It's very universal. It's very, I mean, there are people all over the world who do lots of different things who are part of that beautiful lineage. And I hold it with great reverence and seriousness. And, you know, it's just a part of what keeps me centered and clear on my own path. And then the priestessing thing, really, I was a majorly reluctant priestess. Okay. I started studying women's spirituality around the time that I learned Ascension, both around 1999. But I found my women's spirituality teacher in 2003 and have been connecting with nature and the seasonal cycles and the moon, and sitting with women in sacred ceremony and sacred moon lodge circles, sharing our hearts, our pain, our joy, celebrating together, just being women and honoring the divine feminine, which I love, I feel is important. I feel that the divine feminine, not just existing in women, but I have the privilege of knowing many men who are in beautiful alignment with that. But I am called to work with women in this way, to empower and guide them into connecting to goddess archetype, to awakening and enlivening and sharing with other women. And it really goes on and on and on. It's about women's health. It's about sisterhood and healing a large chunk of something that has been oppressed but has been waking up also in most recent years. So I lead women's spirituality groups and courses, and I've just started a 9-month course leading a group of 9 women through this 9-month program. And then I do a 4-week program online for women that's every couple of months that I start. And the next one will be starting probably mid-February for the 4-week program. I have a couple of women who couldn't start right at February 1st, so I'm holding space. And you yourself know that it's a lovely introduction to diving into the essence of women's spirituality.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed that 4-week class. For me, because as you know, my background came um, more, I don't even know what you would call it, like more of a spirit guide, angel type of thing. And for me to learn about the goddesses and about the women's history was very enlightening for me. I really enjoyed that. I recommend that class. I recommend the Ascension class too. Um, really brought a much deeper quality to my meditation. And I did want to add too, because I know this is going to be shared with my followers, that for me, meditation is really what opened my intuition and what really strengthened my connection with source and with spirit. And that's like the number one thing I always tell people is meditate.
Yeah, sister, for sure. I mean, whatever your calling is, whether it's to be a musician or a writer or a medium or a priestess or uh, just a good parent, a good partner, a person who's just in tune with that source energy, regardless of what you're doing in your life, everything comes forward from that place. And to just unconditionally know that you know where to go to when you're feeling unsettled, that you know you have a home, that nobody can take that away from you. And then whatever your gifts and talents are just totally amplified by your communion with that space, you know, you as a medium and teacher, me and doing whatever I'm doing, and even when I'm not doing my thing, right? Like when I'm just at the grocery store. I mean, driving down the road and we're amplifying source.
Yeah, just to be able to be in the society that we are in now and be able to be in peace. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do or what you want to do, but just to be at peace with no matter what's happening on the outside.
It's a powerful thing to come to learn that you have choice in that, and to learn effectively how to return to that living experience, not just to have to talk yourself into it, but that you can return to that living experience over and over again. I just want to mention, Brandoline, that the website for the Bright Path, the Bright Path courses is thebrightpath.com. And you can find awesome intro videos there and inspiring articles and blog entries. And then under courses, there you will see all of the international flags where we have courses going on right now. And under the USA, I think we have about 9 right now going on. Um, Several in February and one in Michigan in February, which is where we are currently. But I recommend any of those teachers in any of those courses. I will not be teaching one until probably April or May. Again, as far as a live living workshop, weekend workshop. But those courses are life changers. And that's what you went through in your 6-week process will be taught in one of those weekend courses with 2 other Ashaya teacher monk people.
Awesome. Awesome. So, if there's anybody out there and wants to ask a question, you can ask a question on our little chat thing. Um, I know that sometimes it's kind of difficult for them to see the chat thing, but if there's somebody there, they can ask a question. But while we're offering them that, like, what do you have anything else to say or share, or what do you want to leave everybody with today?
2 things. I just had a really beautiful, sweet soul friend of mine who's a musician say that if everybody could just figure out what they're here to do, like what they want, not even necessarily what they're here to do, but what do you want? Uh, and then just go for it. right? Like, just go for it. Okay, so my teacher says the same thing. What is your heart's greatest desire? And if for you right now that's freedom, or if it's peace of mind or joy, and I mean like the heart of it, right? Like not necessarily success and money. Those things offer us freedom and joy, like they
Right.
offer us peace and stability and security. So what is it at the heart that you're after? Okay, so I really want to leave people with that. And if you know what that is, and I ask myself this regularly, if you know what that is, then dun 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 dun. If you know what you want, then where in your life are you compromising on that? Where are you telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow? I'm going to wait until my kids are graduated from high school. I'm going to wait until I can leave this job. When I lose 20 more pounds, maybe then I can prioritize peace. I just need to find the right person to be in love with, and then I will know this. So get rid of all of those conditions and be really honest with yourself and ask yourself if what you want, you're ready to prioritize that or keep making excuses and compromising on that. And then I would recommend, lastly, okay, find out what you want, be honest with yourself about where you're compromising on it, and then find support. Like, find awesome people who are trying to live it big and live it right also. And maybe some guidance, people who can offer you guidance about how to keep it real on your path.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I love it. Well, I can't thank you enough for stopping by and chatting with me today, Rodasi. Um, I'm so honored to like be online with you, and I'm so excited to share everything that you're about with anybody that's on here or any of my followers. Definitely a strong message. Definitely a strong, beautiful woman, goddess, teacher, soul, monk, priestess. You're awesome.
You're awesome too. Thank you for your consistent companionship since you started practicing, and you've just lit up my life. I love watching you fly. You're such a firecracker. You're so passionate. It's inspiring to me, and it was such an honor and pleasure to have you ask me these beautiful questions today.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do it again soon. And again, if anybody needs to get a hold of Rodasi, it's rodasicampbell.com or Rodasi is heaven at Gmail, right?
Rodasi's heaven at gmail.com. So not
Mm-hmm.
Rodasi is, but Rodasi with an S. Rodasi's heaven.
Rodasi heaven at Gmail. Awesome. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us, and thank you for everybody watching on the replay.
Woohoo! Yay!
Woohoo! And just go live your joy and
Yeah.
sit within yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Brandoline.
Thanks, Rodasi. Let's see here. Hold on.